You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Oh, my lady, it's an honor. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
Of course not. Haven't you read First Enchanter Capelan's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic? He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to the Circle to study.
I assure you that desire will depart the moment you arrive.
I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's Luxury Goods Shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying? Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Most people don't anymore. Or maybe they're too polite to mention it. I had a little incident a few years back. Too much time with the raw lyrium ore, you know. Maybe it was a bad vein. I cut myself and the dust got straight in the blood. Since then, it's been a little hard for me to concentrate. Except when forging, then I'm straight as an arrow. Best work I've ever seen. Look around the shop. See for yourself. Well, it's the lyrium, you know. Raw blood of the earth. It's more alive than you and me. Most of the time, that's no problem. When it's all bundled up in a piece of steel, it'll leave you alone. But handling the ore directly, sometimes you get burned. It's not just your skin it takes off. It'll burn directly into your mind. Not crazy, just a little forgetful. Don't worry, I'm fine when I work. Just look at my wares. I have the best blades here. Enchanted to hold fire, ice, anything you want to put in it. Of course we are. Weak surfacers like you touch the raw ore, and you'll bleed from your eyeballs in hours. Weird seeing how big you are. Even surface dwarves lose it. Us down here, though, we should be able to handle it just fine. Only not too much, and not every day, and not breathing the dust, and not direct in the blood. Ancestors' own bad luck. Right. Best in the trade, you know. I work the ore myself.
command me. A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Most kind. Most kind.
What have you there? A mirror? It is just the same as the mirror which Flemeth smashed on the ground so long ago. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. I have never received a gift. Not one that did not also come with a price attached. Perhaps there is a price to pay yet, hmm? If so, 'tis deserved. Thank you. Truly.
Ask me anything.
Did you see that fight? In the old days, those men
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe, for you know what it is to mourn. I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. I don't know that word. This is a section of stone kept bare to receive our prayers. The stone gave rise to our people, and it is where their spirits return in death. My name is Vilda, widow of Turak of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Rak. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return, or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. The Deep Roads are where Darkspawn come from. They descend for miles into the earth, and we must patrol them constantly or be overrun. I lost my husband to them. If I lost my son the same way... The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Darkspawn that way. Perhaps his body could be recovered. His bones. Something to ensure his spirit is not trapped forever. That would be some comfort. How? There is no way except to brave the Deep Roads yourself. A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the Deep Roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good widow Vilda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Welcome, traveler. You look like you'd appreciate a chance to browse some good Orzammar steel. That's a broad question. If it's gossip and ale you want, Tapster's is just east of here. If you want more action, check out the Provings. I heard there's a memorial tournament for King Endrin this afternoon. Best fighters in Orzammar. Don't go getting all imperious. If you want to talk to a noble, head up those stairs. Steward Bandalor's usually around the assembly, and there's plenty of lordlings who'll happily talk your ear off about their authority. They say Lord Harriman's a strict disciplinarian, but a good and fair man. He's always paid on time, 10% up front. I met him once. Didn't even mind talking with one of the merchant caste. But when he left, I saw him slap around his second. If he wasn't Prince, he'd be the kind of man I wouldn't want my daughter marrying. I hope you find something to your liking.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change. Orzammar will decide what we can or can't be. Blight may be imminent on the surface, but our warriors are well seasoned against Darkspawn. There will be topsiders left for trade. There's no end to you. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Orzammar welcomes you.
Oh man, drink in peace.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. The Shaperit controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. The Shaper of Memories controls the Shaperit, Orzammar's record system. Like the Chantry's historians, but more thorough. They track the births and lineage of every dwarf born in the city, every property sale, death in battle, marriage, or divorce. The Shaperette is in the prime tier of the city, near the royal estate. Does this mean you will help me then? I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Horseman. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Hey. As you like.
Welcome to Jannar Family Armorers. I must say, you look like our type of people. Looking for a new set of mail. At Jannar's, we have everything from leather to platinum. I stay out of politics. It's not good for a smith to get the attention of those who grant vendors licenses. Lord Harriman's a fair man. My father did business with him, and he always paid on time. But the Idukans have served us well. If it is the ancestors' wisdom to keep them on the throne, I cannot object. I, for 100 generations. My father made his name by inventing a fall and tacit, which were integrated into the cuirass. But, I'm guessing by your face, you're not a smith yourself. Has she been bothering you? Gets a whiff of surface stink and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Ah, that girl. I've been telling her for years to give up those foolish notions. Magic's a human trick. If Dagna wants enchantment, I can apprentice her to a lyrium crafter. I'm sorry she bothered you. She's a smith. The ancestors granted her to us to carry out that role. Not pretend to be what no dwarf can. Perhaps I could take your mind off the insult by showing you around the store. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her. Please, don't encourage Dagna further. Tell her you were wrong and that her place is with her family. Of course, keep in mind we also take items on trade.
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower. I'm guessing you haven't left yet. Here in Orzammar, we're surrounded by stone and tradition and more stone. Nothing ever changes. But to break every natural law by thinking about it, to dream and walk in a realm where everything you think comes true, I can't imagine anything more wonderful. I'll be waiting.
Pigeon crap.
I don't even know that. That's quite impressive.
Thank you, great lady. But am I right in guessing you haven't left Orzammar yet? You talked to him? Of course he won't let me go. He wants to sell me off for the highest dowry. I don't care if I lose my caste. I'll stay on the surface forever. Thank you, thank you.
On my way.
Go on, I'm out of the nug game. Got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen, but there's more out there. You're the best wrangler. You're the best wrangler. A trust Vala, my nug wrangling friend. A trust Vala, my nug wrangling friend.
Watch out for that puddle of whatever it is.
Is that drunken singing I hear?
I do not even want to think from what manner of substance a cave-dwelling people would create their spirits.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity, especially for someone with a few connections above ground. No offense, but your kings have some laws that don't make sense in a practical kind of world. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of a stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. More so for someone like you, I guess. Most dwarves born down here have a natural immunity. Other races, there are problems if they spend too long with the ore. The real issue is that lyrium's valuable. It's only found down here, and human mages can't work without it. You haggle like a merchant born. Deal. Here's the lyrium, then. You, probably don't want to take it out of the box. I'll be waiting for the next order somewhere out of sight. Say, just around the corner.
Whoever you're looking for, it's not me, I swear.
Spare coin.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Well, our business is kind of covert, if you know what I mean. It's illegal in Orzammar for me to engage in protected trade, but they look the other way if I share things with my friends. For money. Why don't you take a look?
Coin. You got any coin? I haven't eaten since yesterday.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple. Well, thank you truly, my lord. That's right good of you. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the Diamond Quarter, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezda to fill? I'd say it was an accident, try to get some sympathy coin, but you look like you'd rather hear the truth. I was running protection for the Carta when some guardsmen caught me. The duster I was with had coin for a bribe, but I took a stand. Guardsmen broke my sodding kneecaps and had me kneel in dung until the infection set in. Never healed proper. I don't know where you're from, but in Orzammar, casteless have no lineage, so it's no crime to hurt you. You're born to wear a branded face in Orzammar, and you'll live your life in Dust Town. If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want. Means you don't exist. It tells everyone who sees you not to work with you, not to serve you, and not to care if you're hurt. The Deep Lords burn it into us the day we're born, so no one accidentally oversteps her place. If you have that kind of coin, Salroka, you don't want to drink what they've got here. Take yourself up to Tapster's. Long as your face isn't branded, they've got anything you want. I'll just stay out of your way then.
So hungry.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes. When my dad left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Nugs? Yes. They don't got much meat on them, but down here you can't be picky. Better than nothing. Nuggets. Lots of people sell them here in Dust Town. What for? You going to cook them up yourself? Yeah, I can find a nug for you. Could even get one from outside the city. Those ones in the deeps don't eat as much garbage. I don't know what they eat, but they always seem healthier, you know? Shiny coats, bright eyes. How much you giving me? Don't know. Depends on how big a one I catch. Give me some time. I'll hunt him down for you.
Spare a bit for the need. Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. Thank you. That a stranger would care so much when my own family barred me from their halls unless I'm willing to. But no! I can't bear to even think of it! My name is Erlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right. I fell in love. He seemed so exotic, you know? Tough and smart, and never had to bow his head to anyone. He was casteless, and I know he was just trying to father a higher caste child so he could petition for status. But our child was a son, casteless like his father. My parents disowned me and stripped my caste from me. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. I cannot abandon my baby. The Shapers teach that only children of true lineage exist, not those born casteless. But they never carried a child. He cries like any other infant, and smiles when he's warm and full. I can't kill him because of an accident of birth, an accident I forced on him. You would do that? But why? Then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promised.
If I were tall and beautiful like you, I could make all sorts of money.
Right away.
Got him. He's all squirmy, but he's a big fella. Don't know. I'll take anything you can give. He's a fat one, though. Worth a bit. I knew you'd be good on your word. Nice doing business.
Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you. Thank you so much. You've made my day. Oh, how dear.
Horse.
Yes.
I once drank a thimble of dwarven ale, woke up a week later in Jada wearing nothing but my shoes and a towel.
Do you know that dwarven ale isn't truly ale at all? And it's black. Marvelous.
Ugh, just do not buy anything, or touch anything, or sit anywhere.
Archdemon, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? Aye? Maybe I can help. He's the one in the corner, still dusty from the mines. Don't expect him to be chatty. Did you need something else, Warden? So you come to Tapsters? I guess you're not asking for anything official, or you'd be at the Shaperate. But I can certainly give you a mole's eye view. The nobles stay upstairs, except when they're slumming. You'll find the assembly there, the palace, the Shaperate, and plenty of estates. Down from here is just Dust Town or the mines, so my recommendation is avoid. It's not part of the city, just some old tunnels where the castlists build their nests. No one goes there if they can help it. But if you want fun, your best bet is the Proving. It's a chance for all the best fighters in Orzammar to test their skills. There's a tournament today. Arenas between here and the Diamond Quarter. With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have? Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentis Red for everyone! This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
New Darkspawn attacks have been really light this year. Yes. Afternoon, stranger. Looking for a stool to share a brew? Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's expeditionary field unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka, something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the deep roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. I go where I'm sent, fight when I'm there, and leave politics where it belongs. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. Getting more crowded these days, though. Lots of people interested all of a sudden. We go back tomorrow, but we're not the only ones. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost tigers. Looking for signs of Branca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Lord Heromon's got his own men there, all looking for signs of Branca. Guess the city's getting to miss having a paragon. Everyone wants someone to put in charge. Branca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
The surface must be so interesting.
What are you looking at, stranger?
Oh, I'm the monster, not the castless wretch that filled my daughter with his brat. I've got a family and a reputation to protect. I'm not letting one stupid girl drag us all down. What? You think she'd die just to keep that thing? She knows what she has to do to come home. I never wanted her gone. Just the little cur. Can't she see she'd have a better life if she got rid of it? Look, just tell her we never meant to hurt her. It just seemed best that... Oh, just tell her to come home. Her mother and I are waiting for her.
Bottles all around?
Hey, there's 2 of you. I hope they have a nug on the fire.
I can't take
I'm
it!
starving.
Get away! You'll change like the rest. Monsters hidden in all my friends. There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass. Take them. I want out. I won't disappear chasing a lie. I won't.
I hope they have a nug on the fire. I'm starving. Like an ale. Straight up.
Told him I don't understand why the provings aren't open to everyone. I mean, it's how
I
the
really
ancestors
shouldn't be
show their
talking to
favor.
strangers.
Lord Dennick Helmi, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? You don't get far as the youngest and most outspoken member of the Assembly without keeping an ear to the stone. I heard there was a Grey Warden in town. No offense, but you kind of stand out. Very good. I guess someone already told you I was good for nothing, drinking my life away at tapsters. Or did they leave off at greatest shame to ever fall upon the Assembly? I've always liked that one. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent dashers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the Assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Quarter in his life. But Lord Heroin seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected dashers of the Assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. As you wish.
Did you need something else, Warden? With 52 types of ale, 17... I recommend a Brachian brew. She has a heavy head and a deep, rich taste. 3 silvers gives you a pint. A Brachian brew never fails to hit the spot. I hear you spoke to Lord Heroin. He's a good man. Puts Orzamar's needs above his own. Well, I have other customers to see too. If you need anything else, just call me over.
I trust Vala, Warden.
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
I haven't eaten in days. For the love of Aragons.
If only you had come at a less troubled time.
Fair journeys, Warden.
Watch out.
Have you no concern for your own existence? We must gain the advantage!
More foul Darkspawn.
We are victorious again.
You need me?
Arleman sends his regards. Arleman sends his regards, Warden. We're trying to keep the roads clear and safe.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm. It's done. I shall.
Welcome back, friend. You'll be glad to learn that the Circle is well on its way to recovery. Orzammar, indeed. You have piqued my curiosity. It is common knowledge that dwarves lack the aptitude for spellcraft. She will never be able to weave the simplest magic, no matter how hard she tries. Fascinating. I suppose the circle should be flattered. I see. If she is willing to sacrifice so much for this, then we should feel honored. Tell Dagna of Orzammar that this path will not be easy. But if she chooses it, then she is welcome here at the Circle. She will live and study with the Tranquil, and perhaps the apprentices, when it is appropriate. If only the Circle was in better shape. I fear she may be disappointed when she arrives. This will be interesting. She could tell us much about our dwarven neighbors. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I like the idea. I shall take this as an indication that perhaps things are starting to look up for the Circle. Thank you. I wish you well. Know you will always be welcome here.
I don't know if I have to.
Oh, blast it.
I think we'll be all right now, thanks to you.
I dread to think of
The
what might
children
have
are
become
already
of us if you hadn't come
sword and
along.
deliver me that I might find the Maker again. I heard the Templars talking about chasing down a Malefica yesterday.
Come on, you've rested enough. I need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Touching those abominations. It's wrong.
Someone has to do it.
Why do we have to take them across the lake to burn? The lake's right there.
I wish I could have gone with them. To fight.
Oh, it's you! You saved the Circle. I'd kiss your feet if you didn't look as though you'd kill me if I did that. You'll settle for a handshake, won't you? Maybe a kiss on the forehead, eh? Suppose we feel the same way then. Might not seem like much coming from me, but I appreciate what you've done for us. Ah, hello again. Would you like me to tell you again how wonderful you are? Or maybe you'd just like to talk a little? Well, mages need lyrium for spells and things. Nothing you'd know about. I suppose you did at that. Well, yes, but you see, the Templars use lyrium too.
They cannot manipulate natural energies like mages can, but they need to be able to fight us. The big problem with lyrium is that it has diminishing returns, and the Templars become dependent on it. If it wasn't me and Rogek, someone else would do it. Those that know what I do have good reason not to get me in trouble. You're blackmailing me? Fine, take this. It's all I have on me at the moment. Now just leave me alone, please. This just isn't my day.
Yes, of course.
You must be vastly relieved, Wynne.
Relieved? I do not understand what you mean.
Most your age would spend much of their time preoccupied wondering when they might perish. Yet you already know.
Eavesdropping is not considered very polite, dear.
A fortunate thing, then, that I do not consider myself bound by such rules.
In response to your question, I know only that I died once. I do not know how much time I have left. Only that it is very little.
That is not so very different than before, surely. You are an old woman.
One who keenly appreciates that our time in this world should be spent doing what is important.
I have always lived by such a philosophy.
How reassuring.
You do not approve of me, do you?
You have to ask. I didn't realize I was being subtle.
Ah, the old cat still has her claws, I see. And you also do not approve of my involvement with our stalwart Grey Warden.
You are dangerous, Morrigan. Dangerous, cunning, and thoroughly deceitful. But you are beautiful, and he is young. It's a pity he doesn't know any better.
Why, Wynne, I do believe that is the first time you have ever offered a compliment. Thank you.
Only you would take that as a compliment.
Listen, old woman. What happens between myself and him is not your concern. You can approve or not approve as you wish, but this is one thing you cannot influence and mold to your liking.
So you say. I do hope that one day soon you will discover that neither is he.
You mistake my intent, old cat, and you are a fool.
Am I? Well, let's hope so.
Take this. You've earned it.
What is your desire? All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes. It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable? Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most. It may as well be, but not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in the store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no? True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object? And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability. People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then. I set a boy on fire. It's a long story. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby. He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn, with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later. The barn kept me safe from the village children and the stones they would hurl at me. I was afraid, yes, but it could have been much worse. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle. I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger. It may seem that way sometimes, but it was the best thing for me. I was given the opportunity to develop my skills, to learn. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Enchantment? Enchantment!
It speaks. It doesn't have on.
I wish to ask a question of you. We could not speak of it at all if you would rather. Apparently. I wish to know your opinion of love. Yes, it is a valid question. You and I have been intimate, for one. We have been close for some time now. You are impressive in many ways, and you even protected me from Flemeth without hope of reward. I feel anxious when I look upon you. I dislike this sense of dependency. It is a weakness I abhor. If this is love, I wish to ascertain that you do not feel the same. Then we are both fools, and we need to do something immediately. I have allowed myself to become too close. This is a weakness for us both. You are not listening to me. Do not be such a fool. This is for your own good. I am not like other women. I am not worth your distraction, and you are not worth mine. You are impossible. Have it your way, but I will tell you truly now. You will regret it in the end. Interesting. Interesting.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
Indeed. Indeed.
Yes.
My men have scouted the You are very thorough. I'm impressed. And I am thankful you arrived when you did.
Welcome back.
What is so wily of me, oh magical temptress? And I am supposed to believe you are here out of a sense of patriotism, perhaps?
Hardly that.
We all have our reasons for doing what we do. Mine happen to come with a set of strong hands.
Very well.
Hello again. Would you like me to tell you again how wonderful you are? Or maybe you'd just like to talk a little? Rogek? Well, he's a personal friend, and sometimes we, correspond. Did he, have anything for me? Yes, I'll take it off your hands right now. What about 50 sovereigns? That's a good price, no? Look, I have 65 sovereigns and this dagger I stumbled upon in the tower. Will that do? Done and done. You have your gold, and I have my lyrium. Everyone's happy. Out of curiosity, do you know why this lyrium took so long to get here? Dwarves and their politics. Always causing trouble. How is the situation now? Ah, I see. Well, I just wanted to know if I should expect another late delivery. I suppose you don't have much invested in our little operation. No matter. I've got this shipment. No point worrying about the next. Goodbye, then.
I'm here.
Your mother is supposedly the one called Flemeth, the very witch from legend. Is that not true?
There is nothing supposed about it. Flemeth is my mother.
I was more doubtful of the legend rather than your relationship to this woman. Anyone can claim a name after all.
You're welcome to ask her if you ever meet her. You're just her type.
Oh, elven and handsome?
The sort that will never be missed.
Sounds intriguing if you ask me.
You assassin types have a death wish, I see.
Only the really good ones.
Yes.
Hello, how can I... It's you! And it's been, well, quite a while. Enough time to get to the circle and back, I hope. Oh, please tell me what they said. Ancestors, bless you! I can't believe it! There hasn't even been a dwarven observer in the circle since your Ferelden in the 13th century! I need to pack. No, my parents would get suspicious. I need to go. Is there anything I should bring? Books? Tuition? Then I should go before my parents come looking for me. If you ever go to the circle again, maybe I'll see you there.
Please, don't encourage Dagna further. Tell her you were wrong and that her place is with her family. But I'm guessing by your face that she was the best to walk these tunnels since his work was lost. Now she's dead in the tunnels. Oh, you're welcome. And you...
Horse.
Yes.
Well, if it isn't my new best friend. You make it to the tower yet? Excellent. I must say I wasn't sure I'd see you back here. Now, that was 10 sovereigns we agreed to, right? Now, that seems pretty steep. I can't believe I'd offer that much. But I do appreciate what you did. I'm gonna give you 25, and let's call it even. Pleasure doing business.
You're back. I thought you weren't coming. What did he say? Both of us? I don't believe he said that. I've never heard him refer to my son as anything but trash. He calls him it. But maybe Mother convinced him. Or you did. Oh, my friend. I cannot thank you enough. If this were a story, my son would grow to manhood and pledge himself as a knight in your service. When he grows up, I will send him to you. I promise.
Good day. Is it true there's civil war on the surface, too? Ancestors, guide your steps, Warden.
You have come at a difficult
This is
time.
where the rich dwarves live,
Orzammar
yes?
is ailing for want of
The
a
social
king.
strata quickly makes itself evident no matter where one goes.
From what I've heard of dwarven politics, I'm almost surprised we haven't seen blood running these streets.
Atrashvala.
Great. Nothing I say is provably false.
What's a human doing? Oh, must be the Grey Warden. I heard about him.
This has dragged on too long. It's an insult to King Endrin's memory.
I hope you'll support Lord Heroin.
Greetings. Ancestors, watch your path, Grey Warden.
Lord Haramont, said to have kicked Castless in the street.
Does he respect none beneath his station? Mine is an honorable task, and I shall drown out anyone who claims otherwise.
Greetings.
For such a short
Greetings.
people, they do rather like their buildings tall.
This is the royal palace, then. What treasures could lie within?
You know, after all this is over, I wouldn't mind getting a job here. I could sing, tell stories, help the king get items from high shelves.
Your service to House Iduken does you credit.
Is it true there's civil war on the surface, too?
Oh my, a surfacer in Orzammar.
Last city of the dwarves.
I hear there's a war
Just
going
think,
on the surface.
in another
You're honored
century
to
or
have
so,
you here.
the only dwarves left may be on the surface.
Must we stand
remember
so
when the
close to
Grey
the
Wardens
edge?
would visit.
Can you not
Oh, the
feel the
festivities
mountain
we
directly
had.
over our heads?
Those days are
I
past.
require a moment of silence to take in this magnificent sight.
So, what is going to keep you from poisoning your target now that you have been allowed to accompany us, I wonder?
You are. You will be watching me ever so closely to make sure I attempt no such thing.
And why would I do such a thing? Sneaking into our good graces in order to make another attempt is what I would do were I you.
And here I was becoming rather fond of the idea of you watching me closely.
It would be a simple enough matter to poison the food in camp, or cut our throats while we sleep.
You seem rather charmed by the idea.
It would seem an appropriate result of sparing your life.
Ah, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you then. The next time I am spared, I will be sure to immediately turn upon my benefactors. Will that do? Braska!
Yes.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shaperate. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Excuse me, I can't chat.
I'm quite busy. Please do not disturb me.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Heroin have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
I'm quite busy. Please do not disturb me.
Shh! Doing very important work.
I shall. I hope you find what you're looking for.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Grey Warden's visit has been recorded in the memories, along with all who accompany you. That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city. I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition? What sort of charities do you mean? Traditionally, that is their extended family's responsibility, but sometimes people fall through the cracks. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium, and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with Darkspawn. The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridon's tide is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. Yes, we have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery. At the other side of the old Empire, during the last Blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the Darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridon's tide is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. They are to us what a colony is to surfacers. At the other side of the old Empire, during the last Blight, the kings of Orzammar knew they couldn't hold everything. They sealed the deep roads, abandoning everyone still trapped in far-flung settlements. It was the only way to survive. Kal Sharok is the only other city to outlast the Blight. We only rediscovered them recently, and they still haven't forgiven us. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. All dwarves who die return to the stone as ancestors, to guide their families forever. but only one every few generations rises to paragon. A paragon is a dwarf whose accomplishments change Orzammar so much that the Assembly recognizes they've been born blessed. They are venerated as living ancestors and found a new noble house forever bearing their name. Branka is a paragon, now and into death. She was born a smith, but her inventions caught the Assembly's eye. Before she had seen 20 years, she created a smokeless coal. It could burn in a cave without vents and no one would choke from it. It earned her paragon status. According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Jotgyar founded the artisans. Orzatjar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons. The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young. Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss? We were a great empire once. We traded, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems. I will settle your mind if I can, Warden. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. Please, speak your mind. Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the surface trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Desher's lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Forgive me. I am so exhausted. I completely forgot about the message from the gate guard. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great. But you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else. This is their world, and it ended when Endron died. I must admit, I am at a loss myself. It lies with Prince Balin or Lord Heroin. and they are slow to trust anyone in these uncertain times. Dueling Ferelden, Heromon's man, can be found at the Heroin estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin's second, is often here in the assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Warden, it is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? It would be hard not to notice the Grey Warden and his eclectic entourage. I hear you seek the aid of Orzammar's finest. Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. No one wishes this fight over more than Balin. But while it rages, Orzammar can spare no one to combat what may or may not be a new blight. I believe you, but what are we to do? If Balin followed his heart and sent his men to aid you, Harrowmont would steal his throne. We would defeat the blight, and return to find our homeland devastated by an incompetent tyrant. Perhaps you could prove to Prince Balin your intentions are just. If you show you owe Harrowmont no fealty, I'm sure Balin would help you. Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Harrowmont promised the same portion of his estate to two different Deshers, Lady Dace and Lord Helmy. Harrowmont can't possibly grant it to both of them, but they won't find out until after the vote is cast. I have copies of the promissory notes Harrowmont gave each of them. Once they see those, they should both reconsider their votes. That's not important. If they ask, say you found them while searching the Shaper's libraries for your treaty. Normally, the Shapers would handle this sort of accusation. They are the scholars who manage our laws, histories, and genealogies. They are the final arbiters of all disputes in Orzammar. Unfortunately, the Shaper of Memories is the most important among them, and his grandfather was Lord Harrowmont's aunt's first cousin. Obviously, we cannot expect him to offer an unbiased opinion. I guess I can't expect you surfacers to understand the importance of family in Orzammar. The Shaper is biased, and if you want Prince Balin's help, you'll have to show where your loyalties lie. Will you do it? Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
As you like.
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Duelan Ferelden, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. That may be, and that is a terrible risk for the surface. But even if the world would end tomorrow, Lord Harrowmont cannot ignore Balin today. He cannot afford to trust anyone of unproven loyalties. I see. Well, it hardly increases my confidence to hear that you went to him first. I assume you refused? If you want Lord Heromont's assistance, first you'll have to prove he can trust you. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Heromont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Heromont's best fighters into stepping down. The proving is a contest of the best warriors in Orzammar. By fighting, they show who has the ancestors' favor. If you were to enter the proving as Lord Heromont's champion, it would prove your loyalty beyond a doubt. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Heromont would have no fear of meeting with you then. Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the Proving Master and tell him you're entering Lord Heromont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Bizal. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzammar's memories? These are Heromont lands promised here. But these are not the deals we approved at the Shaperit. Where did you get these? And he scripted these counterfeits? This is a serious crime. I will have the Ministry of Lands begin an investigation into the Gavorns immediately. Not entirely. There were 2 promised deals, but their terms differed significantly from what is presented here. It appears the scripter altered the dates and locations of the agreements to make them identical. The prince consulted me before his father died. He wanted to know about King Bimo, the last king to rule during a blight. I told him Bimo made many changes during his rule. The assembly was even disbanded for a 2-year period. Bimo declared that, in times of war, the warrior caste answered directly to the king and all voting was suspended. Balin seemed quite interested. He is a kinsman, yes. If you count to the 6th degree of remove, I'm related to every noble lineage still represented in Orzammar. I can even trace my descendant directly to House Sigmund, which lost its tie to the Darkspawn 13 generations ago. The Shaperit do not vote. We simply record history as it happens. I cannot speak my opinions. History can be changed with a careless word. The Gavorn family is a minor one, founded when a daughter of the Ferelden house married down to a warrior caste man. Her brother died, leaving her family heirless. So the assembly granted him a new family name and allowed him to adopt his daughter's children as heirs. Vartag Gavorn is on record asking the assembly to bar Heromont from King Endrin's sick room. He is a vocal supporter of Prince Balin. You are an outsider, Warden, but not outside the law. I hope you will not do anything to challenge the stability of Orzammar.
Well, have you found Lady Dace and Lord Helmy? If you do, there can be no further business between us. Now, is there more you need before you commence your search? I'm asking you to deliver a message, not enter marriage negotiations. Now, are you going to help or not? Forged? Well, naturally they're forged. There is no legal way for Harriman to sell the same land twice over, is there? You want to know how the game is played? I wrote the papers and left a sizable fee with the Registry office to back them. But if you think figuring it out gets you off the line, you don't understand how this works. I'm asking for a show of loyalty, so exactly how much truth is involved shouldn't matter in the slightest. Now, where does your allegiance lie, Warden? Good. Now prove it, and don't come back again until you do.
Is it true there's civil war
Oh
on
my,
the
a
surface, too?
surfacer in Orzammar.
You're honored to have you here.
Greetings.
Lord, nothing I say is provably false.
Good day. Greetings.
I hope you'll support Lord Heroin.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them. Now, was that an attempt to cozen me into revealing my choice, or are you simply making small talk? It's so hard to tell with you surface types. You're all so charmingly direct and artless. Who wants to know? It certainly can't be you. What interest would a Grey Warden have in who rules Orzammar? Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. My vote is the voice of my house. I cannot go against the wishes of my lord. Unfortunately, he won't be back for weeks. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient thaig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go? So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
calls.
Of course.
Where to?
As you say.
Dragons are not to be...
Ready! It is done!
Pigeon crap.
Yes.
I shall. On my way. Right away.
Good on you, Warden. You caught them in the act. I guess desperate times drive people to strange things. Thanks again, Warden. My lady.
It's done.
Good day, Grey Warden.
Greetings. Greetings.
Good day, Grey Warden.
It's good to see the Grey Wardens know the rightful king in Orzammar.